It's time to enter the drone zone with me, James Drone, aka Pure Ambient Drone. So hit that subscribe button, tap that bell, and get ready to synth on.
Hey there, Synth Drones. Welcome back to episode number 98 of Midnight Synthesizer Talk with me, James Drone, the voice of synthesizers. If you haven't already done so, make sure you hit that subscribe button and tap that bell for notifications. And let's get started with tonight's topic, and that is Focusrite has purchased Sequential. They have acquired Sequential, which now means probably really good news for all of us because Dave Smith is going to be personally freed up from running a business. And believe me, I have and do run a business. It is a lot of work. He's going to be freed up from all of those tasks that will take away a lot of his time. And now he'll be able to concentrate on designing synthesizers, which I don't know the man, but I really do believe that is his first love. That's what he loves to do. In fact, in his video, which I will be playing here in a moment, he actually says that it's not even work for him. You know that you are doing what you love when it isn't work. When something becomes work, when something becomes tedious, when something becomes a foreboding thought, you know that this is no longer your love, or perhaps it never was. But with Dave Smith, we have a man who has done so much innovation in the synthesizer world that we can hardly deny that this is his love, especially after all of these decades of him being involved in designing and the innovation of synthesizers. Now, the interesting thing is that Focusrite, they got their hands into a lot of things, but the thing that interests me the most is that they own Novation, okay? So it's going to be interesting to see what Dave Smith is going to be able to do with the Novation technology that they have developed, and if he can and will marry it into his own designs. It's going to be interesting to see what comes out of Novation after this. Now, here's the big question. Since Focusrite owns Novation and now they have Sequential, it's kind of like, what are they going to be doing on the Novation side of things? Now, we know that they have the Novation Summit, the Novation Peak, and then the Novation Base Station to name their synthesizers that they're currently pushing out the door. But what about the sequential side of things? Is Novation synthesizers going to go one direction and then the sequential synthesizer division going another? So it's just an interesting topic to think about. Who knows what the future holds? I would wonder if the Novation line of synthesizers would be discontinued and then everything would be focused on the sequential name. Again, only time will tell. But right now, I want to play the video just in case some of you haven't got to see it, the announcement that Dave Smith has made concerning Sequential and Focusrite.
Hi everyone, Dave Smith here with some really exciting news from Sequential. I was just realizing that it was 50 years ago that I graduated from Cal Berkeley with a degree in electrical engineering and computer science. And wow, what a trip it has been since that day. I never could have predicted what was going to happen and what has happened. But here I find myself 50 years later announcing the fact we are becoming part of the Focusrite family. Focusrite makes such good sense as a partner with us for so many reasons. They're a great team, we get along so well, they're such a great cultural fit, and I just love the idea of a larger company that will allow us to do more and more in the future. As you know, Focusrite also owns Atom Audio and Martin Audio and Novation. We are looking forward to see where that might lead in the future. They've got their technology and their products, we've got our technology and our products, and who knows, the sky's really the limit going forward. The great thing about this whole deal is that I get to continue designing synthesizers. That's what I do, it's my life. It's not like it's work, it never has been work, I love doing it. And I will continue to do this. I have absolutely no plans in stopping this because I've got the same team to work with. Because obviously, I don't just magically make these products. It's the whole Sequential team, and the whole team is still there, and we're just going to continue doing what we do best.
You can clearly see in Dave Smith's face that he is both excited and probably a little bit sad that a chapter is closing in his life. And I don't mean it in a negative way. I just know that when you transition from one point in life into another, there's always this closure. And sometimes there's a little bit of sadness, but it's not a bad kind of sadness. It's not a depressed kind of sadness. It's just like, you know what? Those were lovely memories, and I'm going to miss some of the stuff that was going on with it. But it doesn't seem like a whole lot is going to change over at Sequential, which I hope it doesn't, because it's my opinion that, in my experience as well, that Sequential has the very best technical support on this planet when it comes to synthesizers. Now, that's just my opinion. That's my experience. But I have had just a handful of problems with some of the synthesizers that I've had from Sequential. In fact, I'll just tell you, I acquired a Dave Smith instrument back when he was Dave Smith Instruments, and it is a poly evolver, and I bought it, and it had problems, okay, but it was secondhand, and the problems were related to just age and, perhaps mishandling, misstorage, who knows, and they stepped up to the plate, and they fixed what was wrong with it, and they did it with such great care and professionalism. I just cannot highly recommend them any more than this. And then I had a hiccup with my OB6, and of course they came through on that as well. The point is that they gave me fast, clear, professional technical support. Dave Smith said that he is going to keep his team intact. And from what I've experienced, he has an infallible team over there. And I believe that it is a tight-knit team. I know a few of them over there. I haven't met them personally, but I've corresponded with a few of them over there. They're very professional. They're very well-versed in synthesizers and what is going on in the company. It is just a great experience to have that team behind you when you buy a synthesizer. Now, I want to point out that I have 9 synthesizers from Sequential, and I've only had problems with 2 of them. And of course, like I said, one of them is a used synthesizer, and it's got some age on it, and it had some programming problems from the previous owner or owners, and they took care of everything. So to have 9 synthesizers and only have 2 hiccups, and of course, one of them was totally out of their, their responsibility zone. I mean, they didn't even have to take care of me with the poly evolver because it is a discontinued product. I mean, how many other synth companies do you know of that will let you come to them with a problem on a discontinued product? And think about this, I didn't even buy it from them originally, and they still helped me out. So for me, that speaks volumes when a company stands behind a product, and not just any product, but even discontinued products. They continue to support the users, and I just love having that feeling of security when I get a synthesizer that somebody is going to be there, whether it be on the phone or via email, and they're going to get back to me and they're going to take care of me. It is just amazing. My real curiosity, though, lies in what else can Dave Smith do? I was talking with a friend some time ago. In fact, I've talked about this topic with lots of friends over the last couple of weeks and over the last year, and that is, and I even mentioned it here, okay, on my channel, I would really love for Dave Smith to revisit the poly evolver in the form of the Pro 3 technology with the ladder filter and maybe some more polyphony as well. That would be so incredible that he would revisit the poly evolver. The poly evolver, in my opinion, is one of the very best synthesizers that you can get, especially in the hybrid the hybrid world of synthesizers. It sounds so good. It has an incredible sequencer. There's just so much about the poly evolver that if Dave Smith was to revisit this technology and add a ladder filter to it, and then add some other great innovations over the years that he's developed into a new polyvolver. Because let's face it, he's went back to the Prophet 8 and he redesigned it and created the Rev 2, which I think is a superior product to the Prophet 8. I'm taking nothing from the Prophet 8. It was a great synthesizer. Kudos for that. But there's always room for improvement, and he did it. So the Polyevolver would be a really great product of his to go back and revisit. I know he likes to say that he doesn't like to look back, but this wouldn't be looking back. This would be going forward with the product, and it would be reinventing it, if you will. And so I don't think that's revisiting. He did revisit the Prophet 5 and the Prophet 10, and he gave that to us. I am perfectly happy with my Prophet 6. I don't see anything else that I need in the Prophet line at this point. I will say this, I just acquired, once again, my Prophet X. And when it comes to sampling keyboards, I just absolutely love what that synthesizer can do. If you haven't checked out Sequential, you should be checking them out because, in my opinion, they make some of the best synthesizers in the world. And no, they don't pay me to say this, okay? This is not a paid advertisement. This is Pure Ambient Drone. Hit that subscribe button and tap that bell. And until next time, keep calm and synth on.